Yo, man, this is the entertainer James Funk, and I'm live in the den right here. You know, so what they say, and there's no holds bar right here. So James Funk, be listening out for me somewhere around town in your town.
We back live inside the den with the legendary Go-Go Hall of Famer Jazz Funk, RE frontman, extraordinaire DJ, proper utensils. It's an honor to have him inside the den for the podcast. Funk, I got a couple more questions for you before I let my guys. When you on that stage and like the Howard Theater, the different vibes. What were your favorite venues to play in during that time?
I would say my favorite has always been the Maverick Room because it brought Rasses was hot as a firecracker.
Yeah.
And it brought people from all sectors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how we got popular from, you know, north, south, east, west, wherever in Virginia, Maryland, or up, you know. Then it's kind of a tie between the Howard Theater and the club. I mean, Club the Burn. I guess I would almost linger to the Club the Burn because it was a dance hall. Howard Theater was more of a concert hall.
Okay.
And it was in Washington D.C.
Right.
I'm a Washingtonian.
Right.
So, but the two they kind of go neck and neck for me. You know, plus, you know, I would be a night owl. I'm detouring a little bit if I could go out and be entertained, but I'm not for the most part. But you know, the Howard Theater and the Club the Bar would go to 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But those were fun times, and then you know, the sound was better, and the competition was stiff. It was definitely stiff. You know, you had Trouble Funk. That was really their house because the owner
At the club.
Yeah. Ted and Stubby and Rio Evans. You know, that's where they practiced at. That was their house, really.
Okay.
You know, and then you know sometimes EU be out there. Those basically because I can't remember playing in any other groups out there. They might have had some other small groups out. Right now, I don't remember who they were.
What was your mindset, Funk, when you may not have called them battles, but I know certain games, when I do games down the farms, certain games, I never had a script.
Yeah.
But when I know certain, like when New York come in town or certain teams playing, when Gilbert Arena was down there, my monologue was I never practiced it. It was always just.
That was the best one.
Yeah, at the moment when you know you on a show with Chuck or you on a show with EU, all these were your adversaries back then.
Mm-hmm.
The junks, you know, y'all had to teach junk a little lesson. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The backyards and all of them that they really wasn't paying homage. When you see those, you on the show with those guys. Do Funk say to itself, I'm getting ready to let him know I'm still that motherfucking, I'm still that guy.
Well, competitively,
Yeah.
more than likely. But
Yeah.
I also look at it as if a backyard or junkyard, whoever was on the show, that's like a compliment.
Right.
Because they elevate my game.
Right.
But I don't. They may look at it as a competitive sport, but I'm looking at it as okay. Whoever's in front of us, crank the joint up. Okay, well, we get up there and let's, you know, take it over the top.
Right.
You know, because it's I look at it from an audience perspective. You know, if the first band, you know, did well, 9 times out of 10 we're going to do well, but the audience got their money's worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's always about the audience to me. I don't care who, I do care, because there can be some people that can be disrespectful, and sometimes I have to go in the bag, the trick bag, but I don't trip off that now. I'm a little older. If you want to compete, that's fine. I'm going to entertain.
But you were their measuring stick, and as you should have been.
Yeah, well,
You were their measuring stick, so they if they got the smell in their piss. I used to go to them shows, folks. You may not want to say it. I would say it. I used to go to them shows, and I had these conversations with motherfuckers, and they talking about, man, yeah, JY gonna do this, and so I said, man, when R.E. when Funk hit that motherfucking stage, man, they coming. They coming. And Bugsy definitely used you as a message.
Mimicked him.
Which was fine, but these other little jokers that used to,
man,
I hear these whispers and they used to be like, man, nobody want to hear no Funk, and da. I said, man, y'all better sit back and watch and fucking learn. Just like Big Jeff, rest in peace, and all these other jokers that's commentating games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm their measuring stick.
Yeah.
And to me, to give you your flowers on it, you were all the lead talkers measuring stick. I didn't listen to Chuck like that. Because Chuck Chuck was smooth and he was the godfather, but I watched you move thousands of motherfucking people in that crowd, and that's major because if the lead talker is off, it's a fucked up party.
It can be.
Just like when you DJ.
Yeah.
So
if the music fucked up, it ain't no fun.
Yeah.
So I used to tell them jokers, man, y'all young motherfuckers, y'all just thought.
But I pray that I know of 2 nights I may have had bad nights. The one night we found foot's deceased, and when my mother deceased.
Who wouldn't?
But yeah, I understand. I want to understand, but I can't think of. I did lunch out on once the Howard Theater stage. That wasn't good. That wasn't look good. A good look for me. And if some of y'all still in your feelings about that, I apologize. But it was there. Hey, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I own it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, because we kind of said it a little while ago. Only time I really have a problem with it is when somebody kind of try to boss up on me.
Right.
But don't boss up on me, and I don't see nothing in the record book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't boss up on me, because then you'll get another side of it.
Right.
But I don't go there. But I have pulled one person to the side. It's good that we have all these bands, but don't boss up on me, because I ain't did nothing to you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I can respect you more if I see something in black and white.
Right.
in your groove,
Oh,
in your groove, when did you start doing this? Because a lot of band members mimic this little groove move that you do. I see Buggy do it all the time, man. Sometimes Gingers will do it, sometimes. When did you start getting in the groove with this thing? Is it a guitar move? What is it?
Because I would, every now and then I would pick up a guitar.
Okay.
And because I love guitar, I love a B3 Hammond, and I love a saxophonist.
Okay.
Outside of the other instruments, those are the 3 I love. Because if you ever paid any attention, I was always calling DC, and I was always calling Godfather, and the percussion. If you ever paid attention. Because I love, I'm an old jazz head. I love a lot of the jazz artists. And I love all music. But that's just, going up and down the frets. And I'm doing it. But some people think I'm doing it to keep timing.
That's what it looked like. It looked like you're doing timing, like with the grooves. But
Only time I would
that's
do
why I'm
that.
asking you about it, really.
Only time I would do that is when I want them to be right where I'm at.
Okay,
But
okay.
you will see me turn to,
Right.
get right there. But my fist balled up, get right there.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
But any other time, I'm just
In the
being
groove.
lazy about playing the guitar. Yeah.
So
Interesting question, man.
one of the most things I was amazed about you about is great lead talker, but what I was most amazed, and to this day, I don't know how you do it. You have a real live conversation with people in the audience that you know on stage. So like it's like you going through your day to day. Where did that come from?
Bringing people in. Everybody wants to be a part of, and if they feel like they're a part of it, you get more out of it.
Coming. They're gonna keep coming.
Well, that's true. And they don't. I mean,
Yeah.
You got about 5 year, a 5 year run with some people. Because when we was younger, let me say this: from them being in high school, all their high school, but some people go away and come back. They got to go to college or whatever they doing, and they may come back. And that's that 5 years. They probably started in junior high. By the time they get to college, then that's probably the 5 years, and then they come back like the old school. They remember when, so they will come back.
It's a lot of
Right
memory
now.
too, though. That's a lot of memory to remember
You
every.
know a lot of people, man. You
No, I'm saying,
realize that too.
Yeah, but now I don't. I'm not out there as much because, like I said, I can't go out there to entertain. I mean, to be entertained. Without, and I ain't no stuck up nigga. I enjoy, man. Let's do it. But I don't like the ignorance of it. But it's part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, oh, you getting up on stage? Well, you read that flyer. Did it say my name? Really? Did it say my name? I'm just here, want to hear whoever I'm coming to hear. Be entertained. I like to be entertained. You know what I'm saying?
That's the love, folks. You right
Yeah,
there.
I understand that, but sometimes, Miles,
I get it. Because I used to go there if I go to Watts on our off day, man. Get on. No, I ain't. No, y'all go ahead.
yeah.
I don't want to steal y'all.
And that's
thunder.
actually one thing I respect about you and White Boy and a couple others. Y'all don't do that.
What?
I like that.
What?
Y'all don't jump on other people's stages.
I mean, I did well, I didn't. I don't jump on it. If it's an honor, yes.
Right.
Because sometimes it's
Right.
being used and abused.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't have no problem. But I would work with other bands. I did like when I was on my downtime, I worked with Subtle Thoughts. Then I stopped that when they went where they went. Then I put my band back together, PU, and then I was working. Chuck had called me. The funny thing about it, because Chuck is a jokester, if y'all know it or not. He called me, on the phone. We were talking on the phone sometime, and man, I want to join, come join my band. Okay, Chuck, stop playing. Stop playing.
You good? You good?
No, I'm seeing little signals. So
Oh,
I'm
no.
about to, so I did, Chuck, man, please stop. I hung up on him because he kept playing. Then he called me back. Man, what's wrong with you? I'm serious. I want you to play with me. And I'm like, what I'm going to do? You got a little Benny there.
Yeah, been this time.
Yeah. What am I going to do? I said, man, I want you to come up there and do what you do. All three of us? Yeah, man, come on up there. I said, okay. All right, so the first practice, I go, well, I wasn't DJing with him then. We out the, I don't think we was out the classics then. But where we was, man, so how's this going to work? You want me to take over the band or what you want me to do?
Right.
Well, son, This is my man. You just fall in. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, I got you. But you know, but I don't. So I would just wait till you call me on stage and get up there. But that was of course I've been on Chuck for good God Almighty.
About to wrap this session up, man. We'll come back, finish up with James Funk, man, right after this commercial break.